01, Office of the President.
It is proposed that Head 01, Office of the President, shall part of the revised scheme. Those in favor, please say aye. Those in favor, please say no. Yes.
Yes. Before you put it to us, I have some concerns there.
Please.
What we were told is that this what is supposed to be the actual for 2022, what we have here is 2020, 2021, 2022. So we are told that there was a mistake here, and they were going to rectify it. Now we are using that same document.
There was a mistake where?
For the 2022 figures.
Now, when we are in the committee of the supply, we are in the committee to consult the Honorable Minister of Transport. That's what we are doing now. So, we are just the question, and you said before we proceed. When we look at it, then you can raise your question, and then the Honorable Minister will respond to whatever you have. Yeah. Okay. So, honorable members, once again, it is proposed that Head 1, Office of the President, start part of the revised estimates. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, now, if you have any comments, you can now make the comments. Clarification.
Yes, because we are given this draft copy, the draft revised budget. Now we have another one that has been circulated to us. Now, this one is not the right copy.
All other documents put them aside, they may not be for reference. The document you are now looking at is the revised estimates and the figures there. That's the revised estimate, the book.
Yes, but during our consultation, the minister declared that there was some kind of, whether it could be a miscalculation or that they need to do some adjustment. So, are we going to approve this thing with what?
No.
The minister should come up and clarify.
Okay, all right. All right. Just what I want to say is, you can raise your concerns now at this committee of supplies, and the honorable minister will respond to your concerns. Yes. Honorable member, you have something? Yes. Thank you very much, Chair.
I think the assembly has been served with a one-page document, which is the corrected version of the recent corrected version.
Yes.
I think we can go by that.
Yes.
With the revised budget.
Then the whole book.
Summary of what the details are. Their concerns are that the area that were identified and they were promised that it was going to be corrected. And corrections here,
Yes.
this is what we do, and corrections here,
Yes.
and if so, those are the ones that are reflected in the one-sheet document. Am I right?
The Excel sheet that was the revised one is the corrected one.
When we are considering the head of head 01 Office of the President, we are concerned with the total enrollment aspect of that head. You before we move up to page 47, that's where it ends. And if you look at the main one on top there, it is up to the president is 658,357,113. That figure is now replaced with this one.
This one is for correct.
Yeah.
The capital is also there. The sum of that add up to
This is
677. Yes.
This one is?
Yes. The sheet has the total copy, total balance.
Honorable Speaker.
Yeah.
Where is the main total?
The development and you come after the end of the recurrent constraint. Now
You have development component.
Yes, you have a little development.
So that,
The two together will make this.
Yes, exactly.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have an observation.
just hold on. Just hold on.
The sheet has a total of both recurrent and development. The first part we're dealing with only the recurrent. The development is in another section. Yes.
So we are going by the revised estimate. Yes, member for I think what we are looking at is, if you look at the book here on page 43, we are looking at the recurrent budget only. So by the time we finish the recurrent budget, we're going to continue to the development budget. So if you add the recurrent budget plus the development budget, that will give it excel in total. And that's the reason why the figures are not the same. So once we finish the recurrent part, then we're going to move to the development aspect of the budget for the same agencies, budget entities. So those put together,
You see, one thing we have to make clear.
Yeah, at that point, you will have told us so many people and that was a document supplied them. Now, that document that was supplied has been corrected, and this document is issued. Now, if you add the recurrent and development, it will give you the result that you are seeing. So what we are saying is the revised estimate itself is correct. Therefore, now let me proceed.
In this book. It's in this budget. The breakdown is that, so we must use this document side by side with this one. Yes.
Honorable member, what I've said is, in fact, this document is just a complementary, just to guide you. We are using the revised estimates itself. Before,
there is still need for clarification from the Honorable Minister regarding the salary scale, there was a proposal at the level of the majority and the minority when the proposal came for the salaries of the ministers to maintain, and then for salaries to maintain, maybe the salaries to reduce from the proposal to the one that is standing now, and then for the other ones to maintain. With that, if that change is effected, will affect the amount in the current this thing. So from 65,000, according to that, to about 44,000. So I don't know whether the minister has done that changes, and how would that be captured?
All right. You have put the minister will respond to your question. Thank you very much. The classification between the allowances and the basic salary of ministers will be reflected in the final version of this. We just got that. Whatever amendment has been made will be incorporated. This is a draft, and we'll incorporate that in that. Yes. Honorable Minister, when we approve this device with the figures here. Now, we have to give us the next of it, and then we must approve it, and then when it goes, we can approve the device from there. But the figures that we're talking about, the corrections should be made here. In the absence of the corrections, it means we are approving something that is not. Can I make some clarification? The calibration of the remuneration of the ministers the basic only, will be adjusted as an amendment, as the information came late into the game. Yes.
So it's taken as an amendment.
Yes. Because the total amount will not change. He said, yes. Yeah, what he's saying is, the people that share the name, we allow the minister to be 65, and now we take it to 44 and 4. So at that approval, based on the 44, the correction will be made and it's made separately from the what we are saying is, as we put this question, it is with the belief and amendment that the salaries for honorable ministers is pegged at 44,000 instead of 65. And we are going, if we are going with the ministers. Yeah. So when we guys go Stand back of the revised estimates as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
John, for the any figures.
Honorable members, it is proposed that N02, taken from page 47, National Assembly, stand part of the revised estimates. Mr. Chair, as amended, Chair. Honorable Chair members, the minister has allowed me.
Yes, sir. The deduction from the National Assembly will be restored, and this amount can be approved as amended with the restoration of the deduction.
Honorable members, in the earlier revision, National Assembly's allotments were reduced. And now it has been agreed that those deductions will be put back as per the approved estimate for 2020. Now, it is proposed that N2, National Assembly, stand up the revised estimates as amended. Chair, yes, it is serious or concern. Our concern is, my concern is, if you don't mention figures, you don't know what we have approved. That's what I'm saying. You don't say yes, you know, you don't know the figures. And what had happened, in particular with the National Assembly, the National Assembly's original, if you look at the whole document that we are was 376,581,000. It was reduced to 313 million. 430,000. I think that the reduction was 63 million. 151,000. Now it is going to be restored to the original approved budget of 2022. That is 376 million 521,000. Now, what we are saying here is, these are, what you are doing is to say that those are is original. And the government minister will have to go back after approval to do those things and bring up the documents as because it will be on record here that what is approved is disallowed. Before, it's just like if we are here and we make corrections. If we make corrections, we don't have to go and correct the house and come back. We only correct and amend it, and then we go to do it and we correct it possible. Are we fine? Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Chair, what we have just mentioned now,
yes.
if you are going to have National Assembly, the people now, nature was you know that this is so that they put and make their person, you can know whether the Assembly is going to work or not. Yes, they monitor it. But if you just tell us to approve like this, we will not be able to know what we are doing. And in fact, when you mention those figures, you in fact made a mistake. Because you say it's minus by 63 million, when what is here is 48. Not 63.
Honorable Chair.
supply to us, we look at it and make comparison as to whether what we agreed on is what is expected.
And the figures that will be adjusted, we don't know it. Read the figures, then we adopt, because you cannot adopt something that you don't know. Honorable. Read the figures.
For instance, as far as I think also where I will bring it there and I will bring it around as amended. Yes, sir. We know what should be, what should be. If they want to do it for our approval, we reserve the right to check against what we have proposed whether it is. If it is not, we take back to them and then let us go and win.
Just the classification within the categories, which is not going to change the appropriation bill, because the appropriation bill is the sum total. Yes.
No,
for the National Assembly restoration will be a change, which we will reincorporate as we have agreed, following the suggestion this morning.
Honorable Chair.
Yes. Honorable Chair.
What I'm saying is that let's agree that as let's approve it as amended. Then let him take care of the amendment version. After the commission, and also the issue of the basic as well. That has to be approved with amendment. Then this accelerated scale, they will do the effect there. At where? At the level of PMO. They can do the changes there.
Honorable Chair, I also observe that if National Assembly is restored, they only approve their own. So if National Assembly owns restored, all the semi-autonomous institutions need to be restored as well.
It's not
Hansard. Number two, the figures is not going to change that much with the amendment because we are removing from the basic, you are adding to another area, which is the allowances. So it's like you are minusing 5, you are plus 5. So the overall figure is still going to remain the same. However, we need to indicate which line are we deducting and which line are we adding to. That must be recorded. So that when they go back, they can update their system. But the overall figure is not going to change. It's still going to remain the same. So on your end, you have to mention the amount, and whoever is making the proposal is going to indicate we're going to reduce 23,000 from the basic and will be added to a particular allowance. So overall, the figure is not going to change. Yeah.
That would not be possible.
Let's I think
then we move, when we agree, yes, if there is any new element, they will put it up. He will not hide anything now. So we are wasting time. We need to move.
Honorable members,
what is clear is, by all experience with what we have told, is that we have decided to improve the amendment. But let's be humble. What the members know is, these figures are there, made order. Key among them is, A, salaries that are included here for honorable ministers, paid at 65, will go back to 44. And they are inclusion of balance. So what we are saying is, if we go into the estimate, it's not that go to win. And we are doing the same amendments. And when they will go back to their home, and when they do their home, they will give it to us in detail form to show what balance they are doing, what salary they are doing, what to know. Yeah, I think I will give it in the amendment. Will you follow? Yes. Yes?
Coming back to us, will we be here? And if we detect mistakes, how do we rectify those mistakes? That's what I'm saying. So we need to standardize everything here and before we approve it.
Now, let's look at the estimate itself. Look at the actual and the amended version, read it out, let's vote and proceed. So once we agree here, they will all need to put it in record. When they go there, they can do the needful. But this is what Parliament has agreed in principle, then they should go and adjust to that. And then when you bring the appropriation bill, it gives us every ministry what has been allocated to them at the end of the day. So it's based on that, when they go back, they implement what has been agreed here.
Yes, Honorable Chair, in addition to what Honorable Fellow Secretary and Majority Leader, when they go, you look at the debate appropriation bill, the clerk of the National Assembly, after the approval with amendment, when they print out, before they print the final copies, they will bring it to the clerk of the National Assembly, who will compare it with what was passed here, which will reflect, according to him, a true view and represent what was passed in the National Assembly before he signed it, and that copy come out. So for the honorable member for Wuli is to allay his fears, whatever we approve here with amendment, of course, it's going to be with amendment. And they will come back to clerk, who is the authority who will represent us. appropriation bill, it is the total for each ministry. So the reclassification between allowances and salary will not change the total for the ministry. So it's very straightforward. The only one that will affect the appropriation bill is where we are restoring a balance deducted. Like, for example, the National Assembly, we will restore it back to where it was, and the appropriation bill will change for that. But for no other ministry will the appropriation bill change, because you are just reclassifying between two subcategory elements. I hope I'm clear.
So that is that the distribution of honorable minister's salary from where it was will not affect the people, because almost the same amount is added to the allowance. So if you are at both the two together, you work in the appropriation bill. It will almost be the same people. Where the difference in demand is, for instance, the National Assembly has been adopted, and we are asked to restore, that will be you. Alright? If another institution has been adopted and we are asked to restore, that will be you. But the salary issue will not be taken because it's in my routine. So I do understand. So what we are saying is most of the other issues we are not affected by the situation. Would not be affected. So what we do know is even if the other ministers will not be affected. So basically the same goes idea, except for the National Assembly. It is between now and it is not. Honorable Speaker, please, sir. Yes, I have some, sir. Please.
My concern is that when we are making an observation, with respect to that of the salaries of the ministers, and these observations are that the figures that are there, we have concerns with the figures. For those figures to be deducted and get back to somewhere else that we believe best fits. So, but if we are taking it from one part of the ministry, the same part of the ministry again, the figures still stand for the same people. Which means we have a sense in our observations that when we deduct it from here, it gets back to somewhere else different from that ministry. But if it is taken from the salaries from the ministers and taken to the allowances, still, and the allowances will not be taxed. So we have reasons as to why we are debating on issues and as to why we think they should be cut. But taking it from here, putting it there, in the actual sense, doesn't make any difference.
Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Was not about the basic salary or the allowances. What he raised was for you to read it, and even if there is correction on the figure, let it be read aloud so that we approve it for record purpose. I think that was what he said, and it's very clear. Now use your discretion, we move. Ministry. Let's approve those, rid the figures, let's vote on the figures and approve as amended, and we proceed.
Honorable members, now we
are at National Assembly. It is proposed that the National Assembly stand back of the
Approved budget stands at 376,581 period. We vote on that and go.
That's the total.
Yeah, this is we are dealing with the revised estimate of the and if you go there, it's not what you say. So what we do is either we put that we know how and we 376 million at the same as these people at the same people we have.
We need. If we talk about the deduction that was done from the National Assembly, we all have the Excel spreadsheet where it is boldly written, the revised budget for National Assembly, 2022. So if at all the chair reads the budget line 2 head, which is $313,429,000, obviously we all know the restoration is the deduction that was done here. So there is no way that any other person will bring a ghost figure and include it in the account. We all have the documents with us. Unless and until if you want to distract and prolong the time, but if not, I don't see anything on the table. We all have this Excel spreadsheet. We have the revised budget. So all deductions are captured here and the estimates are in the budget sheet. So now we don't have a problem. Honorable members,
you know why I don't want to read this. These people both requires and development. And we are not dealing with development. We are only dealing with the requirement. So what we are saying is, the figure here, we will read it as amended. That amendment will not be what it supposed to be. So okay, we will go over and then see where it's correct or not. I think that's the thing. If you want to put it together, why don't we have it together? So please, honorable members, I think we can keep this. Yes? I think the people that they will be there. That is what we see, this see. But the actual book, it is not 376, it's 361.
you know, honorable member, now we are going away from that because the two figures are both recurrent and
And then we are only dealing with the recurrent. So that's why we are using the figure here. When we go to the recurrent, we are only using the figure as a this figure is actually the figure here plus what more we don't get the line from the figure. So we get better and we are the recurrent with the figure change. So that's what we are saying. We now go to the next one. $163,662,900.
million dollars. Well, it's two things. Normally, the institutions like National Assembly, National Audit Office, and then the IEC, their budgets actually are not touched by the executive. So I'm not too sure why are we adding 1.5 million. No, IEC. No, but then that has to be amended.
What he's saying is, the IEC, instead of being reduced, has been amended.
Yes,
It's because of the salary revision.
By who?
Okay.
No, the issue I'm highlighting is they cannot increase or decrease. At IEC, exactly. The one just highlighted. Yes.
May I hear you, please? IEC staff, you may.
Salary increment that is addressing civil servants and then the subvented schools and then hospitals. So that does not include the IEC. So if IEC want to do whatever salary increment they want to do at their own level 5, they can do that, but not by the Ministry of Finance. So what we should do here is to restore the approved amount allocated to IEC.
2022.
Honorable Minister, that was
I think you will have this back, and we move. Yeah, restore it back. The figure will be 118666, the original figure.
Even this one, you can say with amendment.
118666.
honorable members, you know not stop me. I give you chance to talk. What do you are? If you get your mind, allow me to talk, and then come and say what you want to say. Who else? Huh? Yes. Member of yes. Member of yes. We are doing it. I do it in the area. Let's do that. It doesn't mean. As you rightly said, that has agreed between the members of the Parliament and the Ministry of Finance.
Because it's a National Assembly precedent, and public, is listening. Is this based on law? If we are basing it on law, then we need to cite that authority to say, as per this, provision, is that this social and social institutions' budget should not be touched. And if the minister touches it, it has to be restored back. But if you just say it has been agreed between the National Assembly and the Ministry of Finance, is what I don't understand.
Oh no, honorable members, we don't need to go to the National Assembly. The relevant authorities will go and look at the law. The ayes have it. Head 0. The ayes have it.
Head 07, Minister of Defense.
Honorable members, Head 07, Ministry of Defense. It is proposed that Head 07, Ministry of Defense, stand back on revised estimates as amended in the tune of 828 million, 681,672 dollars. Those in favor, please say aye.
Not in favor, please say no.
The ayes have it.
Head 08, Ministry of Interior.
Honorable members, Head 08. Yes, Look at the 3.7. It's 2020.
No, I'm reading 2022.
Go on, sir.
Yeah, what I go with you is where are you getting the figures?
Yeah, the difference is not much, and we have increased up to that level now.
No interior is even.
No. No, no.
We are reading 2021.
Yeah, but if you are not
The
increasing
2020
allowance,
allowances have not been changed.
I'm checking 2022, brother. Yeah. My friend, can you come? No, no.
It's 2022.
I'm reading 2022.
It's reading from 2022.
I'm not blind. I'm not short-sighted. What I'm saying, if the salary is, if the
Honorable, you know what are our problem is? We don't have government.
with this draft book is that they quoted 2021 here. You cannot make comparison. You have to get 2022 so that you can make comparison.
Okay,
Do you understand? So I have 2022, the approved version. That's it. Me.
Okay,
So I'm making that comparison. So once we are looking at the basic salaries, why the figure has been catapulted to another level? So I want the minister to explain.
And you are saying in 2022, you have 4 million.
Yes,
4 million 442.
3,796,000.
In the reverse, it is approved in 2022. 3.7 million.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes.
And then you are now
4.400.
Honorable Minister,
For the allowances.
you follow his arguments.
Yes, I followed that. On the increase in allowances, as the revision was done, the Ministry of Finance was faster than the original budget, so it was augmented by this amount.
It's a budget documentation.
Honorable Member, it's a budget.
No, they realized there was a shortfall. Yes. That's what he explained. Yeah, let's move.
Honorable Members, Ministry of Interior. It is proposed that Ministry of Interior start part of the revised estimates in the figure of 1,272,286,037. Those in favor, please say no. It is proposed that at 09, Ministry of Energy and Water start part of the revised estimates as amended in the tune of $35,845,387. Those
That's stand part of the
stand part of the bill. Absolutely. Those in favor say aye. Those not in favor say no. The ayes have it.
Head 10, Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Honorable members, we are now accepting down Head 10, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It is proposed that Head 10, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, stand part of the revised estimates as amended in the tune of 50 million, 25,500.
On an observation. I'm seeing deduction.
It's an increase.
It's increasing. Issues are not settled. If it is possible, can we make adjustment for foreign affairs so that those borders can be repatriated back? We are reviewing a lot of things. You are putting things that are not there.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Thank you very much. I appreciate it and that this is basically that lead to the increment. So if you want to incorporate repatriation here and there by these things, it's a problem. Yeah, Chair. You will realize that there is a particular budget line item called repatriation that actually has increased. And perhaps the Minister of Interior or the Minister of Finance can highlight. So my assumption is that the repatriation budget line has increased. So hopefully that's some issue unless the Minister can provide that on
You know, it may be increased a little, but the main purpose was to find what is the goal. So when we go to the next comes here, that is going to do. Instead of policies and so to as amended, in the tune of $1,050,025,533. Those in favor, please say aye. Those in favor, please say no. Ayes have it.
11, Ministry of Justice, page 75.
Honorable members, page 75. Head 11, Ministry of Justice. It is proposed that Head 11, Ministry of Justice shall act on the various means as amended in the tune of $106,064,900. Those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, please say no. Ayes have it.
Head 12, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, page 78.
Yeah, before we go to the next budget line, because if I put the question, we're gone.
Please.
So,
Comparison that we are making. No, what I'm saying, just give us 1 minute.
yeah, I can.
Now, we are now on here 12, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. Honorable members, Head 12
Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs stand part of the revised estimates as amended in the tune of
767,726. Those in favor, please say aye.
Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head
13. Hands up on the right. Page 13. Head 13. Pencil and graphics. Right.
Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
And 14, Ombudsman. Honorable members, Head 14, Ombudsman. It is proposed that
Head 14,
Ombudsman start back with the price estimates as amended. In the tune of 17,616,967. Those in favor, please say aye.
not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Listen from the minister.
But it's an independent institution we agree to be restored. It's not an independent
Well, you know, my problem is I've already put the question.
No, but then if it is not an independent, the court will
we have
remain.
the question
It's
already.
just like any general court applied to any other ministry. There is no specific explanation.
Okay.
Head 15, centralized services. Honorable members, Head 15, centralized services. It is proposed that Head 15
Centralized services stand
part
part
of the revised estimates as amended in the tune of 1,569,764. Those in favor, please say aye.
not in favor, please say no.
Yes, as amended.
Ayes have it. Yes, I've said as amended.
Head 16, Ministry of Lands and Regional Government.
Down. Honorable members,
Head 16, Ministry of
Lands and Regional Government.
It is proposed that Head 16, Ministry of Lands and Regional Government stand back with the revised estimates as amended in the tune of 174,303,051. Those in favor, please say aye.
Not in favor, say no. The ayes have it. Minority.
To do the clarification on the issue of the salary ministry, where those from 121,000.5 million rather.
Pardon? Where are you?
Which one are you?
Local government,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Uh-huh.
The salary for the local government has been reduced from 121.5 million to 49.3 million.
That was an oversight or what? Why?
No, what is saying 2022 approved, but it was 121.
Minus 60% reduction. I'm comparing the two, 2022 and 20 approved and then the revised.
No, this one is specific. No, he's saying this, he's saying this salaries, basic salary, he's saying it's 49, and in that
Comparing approved 2022 and then the revised 2022.
That is too much.
the difference is 49.
No, this one is not correct.
No, this one. Do you have this copy?
No, I mean, it's very low. Chair. Just get your draft. The draft
Chair, put your question, and then the Honorable Minister will answer. Chair, just hold on, please. He's on the floor. Yes?
the revised draft and then the approved 2022, if you compare, that's the two comparisons I'm trying to do. Yes.
It was here. And you also have the copy. You also have the copy. You can
Original.
Yeah, that is 121.5 million.
And in this revised one,
It's
49
49
million.
Yeah,
Okay.
the difference, the gap there.
Yeah? This one? Hello?
Excuse me, can, that hard copy should be disregarded. Let's just read from this. Last, no, but we should, therefore, I just made, yes.
Until I'm tired now. Chair, please, just 1 second. You know time is going. We are supposed to close by 6. So that's not fair to you. Otherwise, just a second.
And we go to sessions, and then you will move that we continue, and then come back, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, honorable members, we suspend.
come this way. It's faster.
Honorable members, session has started.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to move that we sit beyond 6 to finish business. Thank you.
Any seconder, honorable members? Yes. Honorable members, it's been moved and seconded that we continue with business after. It was all right. I recognized. Okay, rise to second it. Honorable members, it's been moved and seconded that sittings continue beyond 6 to finish business. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, say no. The ayes have it. We continue with the Committee of Supply. Honorable Member, Minority Leader, your question has not been answered. Okay.
Minister, yes.
Minister, you now have the floor.
Yes, for local government, the original budget 2022 was revised downwards because it was an over-projection from the initial budget. It's revised downwards because the original amount was an over-projection. Yes. Yes.
Over-projection.
About 72,369,855. That was the over projection.
Yes, from last year at the initial budget.
Honorable members, I've just done the local government. So we have just put it.
It was now we head 17, Ministry of Agriculture. That's 89.
89. Honorable members, head 17 on page 89, Ministry of Agriculture. It is proposed that head 17, Ministry of Agriculture, standard revised estimates as amended, the tune of 340 million, 713,730,730. Those in favor will say aye. Those in favor will say no. The ayes have it.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chairman.
Yeah?
Chair, I just want to inquire the Minister in relation to this. Like the Ministry of Health and Higher Education, the subvented institutions are taken care of. Like you look at agriculture, subvented institutions like NARI, which is very important for agricultural production in the country, are exempted.
Just hold on. So I have put the question on agriculture. And Badibu said it to me. I give you a few minutes to look at your distance. I want to understand. So that when we have the question, you want to come back, you are going to waste our time. And it is not
Yes, Honorable Minister, like I look at this particular budget line for agriculture, that has been deducted by over 6 million plus. So I'm thinking of that the subvented institution under them, particularly NARI, which is very, very important, which is very crucial in the agricultural production in the country. If they are exempted, why can't you bring them like the way you take care of the Ministry of Health and that of the Ministry of Higher Education?
Thank you very much. The NARI agency is not using the integrated pay scale. The agencies who benefited from the increase are the ones using the integrated pay scale. That's the explanation.
Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, 91.
Honorable members, head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. It is proposed that head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, standard please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 19, Ministry of
It is proposed that Head 19, Ministry of State, Regional Integration and Economy, start back and revise estimates as amended, to the tune of 100,207,955.
Not in favor of it.
I said before the vote, observation.
Yeah, you see, honorable member.
When I finish this thing, when I go to the next one, stop me before I ask the question. That's just like, but when I have the question, I ask you. Don't make me hear the question. That's all I want to say. Okay, go ahead. There are some also has to do with the salary in the ministry. I have been reduced from 1.4 million to 9.4. What is that? That's three. Salaries. Salaries is from
9.4. Roughly 6% deduction.
Yes. Another explanation of
Chair, you will fully remember during the debate, the majority leader talks about e-government. And in working towards that, if you look at the budget line for ICT, infrastructure, hardware, network and facility, hope is not on the low side.
Not at all.
No, I want the minister to explain.
I can explain. What we are dealing with here is the recurrent budget only. And what you are thinking about is the capital investment. And the two are not connected. Thank you. Thank you.
This ministry. Please. Honorable minority leader.
Those two ministries, I think this is the last ministry. I don't know if the honorable ministry where those ministries fall. That is the two ministries that are created. Big budget line is created for those two ministries.
Remember, there is already
The cuts, the adjustments, that the cuts that have been made, the funding for those two ministries are from that. From the cuts, the overall cuts of 1.2 billion, those two new ministries, new budgets are included in that.
I have seen in the 2020 approved the new ministries have taken care.
It was split, but the new ministry was created.
No, the Ministry of Digital Telecommunication.
It was information and communication that was split.
No, I saw in the budget. I saw the
The last two rows of the sheets are we have two ministries there. Just before the national service. For the communication and digital economy and the public service.
honorable members. Let me make reference to page 123 of the revised at the bottom. At the bottom, Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. That's the new ministry. And they are forced allocated to the tune of 14 million. So,
proposed that as 19, Ministry of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment stand part of the revised estimates as amended to the tune of $100,207,955. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
At 20, Minister of Basic and Secondary Education.
Honorable members, it is proposed that at 20, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education stand part of the revised estimates as amended to the tune of $2,930,572,299. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
At 21, Minister of Health. Page 102.
Honorable members, it is proposed. Let me give you the positive. Okay? Now, it is proposed that at 21, Ministry of Health stand part of the revised estimates as amended to the tune of $2,724,617. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, say no. The ayes have it.
At 22, Minister of Youth and Sport. Page 104.
Honorable members, it is proposed that at 22, Ministry of Youth and Sports stand part of the revised estimates as amended in the tune of $84,959,730. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
At 23, Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Wildlife. Page 109.
Honorable members, it is proposed that at 23, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Wildlife stand part of the revised estimates as amended to the tune of $86,704,780. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
At 24, Minister of Information.
Honorable members, it is proposed that at 24, Ministry of Information stand part of the revised estimates as amended in the tune of $24,359,263. Those in favor, please say aye. Those in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
At 25, Minister of Fisheries and Water Resources. Fisheries and Water Resources.
Honorable members, it is proposed that at 25, Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources stand part of the revised estimates as amended to not $23,612,728. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
At 27, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology.
Honorable members, it is proposed that at 27, Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, stand part of the revised estimates as amended, to the tune of $234,088,699. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
29, Minister of
Honorable members, it is proposed that Head 29, Ministry of Petroleum and Energy, stand back on the vice estimates as amended, the tune of $40,875,668. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 31, Minister of Gender, Children and Social Development.
Honorable members, it is proposed that Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare stand back on the revised estimates as amended, the tune of $60,705,919. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 23, National Human Rights Commission.
Honorable members, it is proposed that Head 23, National Human Rights Commission, stand back on the revised estimates as amended, the tune of $53,766,265. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Head 34, Minister of Communication and Digital Economy.
Honorable members, it is proposed that Head 34, Ministry of Communications and Digital
Chair, if you look at the travel expenses, from what the minister told us is that they are putting down on travel somehow. But if you look at the figure, then it's 10 million, unless I am.
No. 1 million.
1 million, not 10 million.
That 10 million is for the allowances.
That was only
1 million, 1.2 million.
that was only 14,500,000.
We have only 6 months to
The PMO is not only ministry that has removed, also record staff.
You said the PMO. That was why I said what and where.
PMO, National Record Office, used to be all under the Office of the President, and then now they have been moved to this new ministry. Yes, and the delivery unit also was on the OP, that has also been moved to this new ministry.
Minister, I think we should get this clear. Because I believe that this revised estimates, it means from January to December 2020. It is not only calculated from July to December. People must understand. The revised also means the remaining part of the year is what we have calculated.
Can you allow the minister to answer?
No. I know that. I can clear. It has been on and on. I understand what you want. So I asked him to clear, and I told him. Honorable members, can we proceed? Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. Personally, we would have expect some cost from the office of the president if the PMO and the personnel salaries have been moved and in place under the current ministry, creative ministry. Unless the minister can help us.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, that is the presumption. But these deductions are less than the net additions. That's why we have an overall increase in the Office of the President. The number of remaining agencies still in the Office of the President is quite large. And most of the expenses related to Office of the President is heavy on personnel emoluments. And as we know, this revision focuses on personnel emoluments. So you have 30% applying to a larger base. So that's what accounts for the net addition to the Office of the President. Thank you.
Honorable members, it is proposed that L35, Ministry of Public Service Administration, Reform, and Policy Coordination, stand part of the revised estimates as amended in the tune of $123,199. Those in favor, please say aye. Those in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Development budget from pages 127 to 202. It's development budget from page 127 to 201. Chair, before you skip, Chair, before we go to development budget, we have the other item, debt service. We have done that. What? You come with this.
Debt service is coming as the last one. After development, debt service. Then we go to the application. Chair, honorable members, the development budget from page 127 up to page 201. I will give you 2 minutes to look through it. I think you have looked through it over the Pardon? 3 minutes. 5 minutes, please. All right, I will give my 2 minutes to look through it. Give you opportunity to look through it. This one is development budget. Honorable members, we are not saying anything. Honorable members, I now request. It is proposed that development budget pages 127 to 201 stand part of the revised estimates as amended in the tune of 14,798,968.66. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Now, let's start. Let's start budget with your estimate from page 202 to 207. Honorable members, it is proposed that debt service pages 202 to 207 stand part of the revised chair. Yes, please.
The question that I raised regarding this, we are talking about this as a loss. And I was saying to you, I'm also in relation to do that. What did you do to me?
So we will give them everything